Hey, what's going on guys? Oscarmini here, and here's my review of the TECNO Camon 15 Premier after about a week of use. Let's get to the B-roll. The Camon 15 from TECNO is a 2020s iteration of the Camon series, which comes in three variants. You have the Camon 15 itself, the Pro variant, and the Premier. Basically, the Premier and the Pro should have sort of the same specs, aside the 64 and 48 megapixel main lens differences. The regular one has 4GB of RAM, 5000 mAh battery, and a 48 megapixel main sensor, while the Premier and the Pro have 6 gigs of RAM, 128GB of internal storage, 4000 mAh battery, the P35 processor from Helio as seen on the Phantom 9, and a 64 and 48 megapixel sensor respectively for those devices, and I'll definitely touch on that in a bit. So this is going to be a detailed review where I share my likes, features that could have been improved all based on my use of this smartphone, and I also have timestamps linked in the description below where I give you quick access to different sections. And without taking much of your time, yo guys, let's get started. This box has previously been opened and is a review unit I have here. I might not have the paperwork and even the screen protector as might be seen in the final retail unit. So the unboxing experience here might not be sequential and what you get out of the box when you buy the smartphone. You also get to see a large box which is similar in size to the Camon 12 from last year, with the regular free data inscription, but this time in an all-crazy blue accent. Taking the box apart reveals the usual inner box for the SIM ejector tool, the 13-month warranty sticker, and a silicone case for protecting your smartphone. Next up is the smartphone itself, showing the TECNO Camon 15 branding with a 64 megapixel sensor. But that aside for now, other accessories in the box are 10-watt charger, a micro USB 2.0 cable for data transfer, and an earphone with a 3.5mm jack plug. Taking the wraps off the Camon 15 Premier Pro lets you behold the beauty of this device, and setting it up from the first time took a little over 2 minutes with the fingerprint sensor set up as well. Now let's talk about the ports and the buttons on the smartphone. You get nothing at the top. Pop-up camera, yes, you heard right, that's a pop-up camera on this TECNO device. The right side has the dual nano SIM tray, a dedicated micro SD card expansion slot. Down at the bottom are, firstly, the speaker grill, a micro USB 2.0 port which I never did expect here. I'm not gonna lie, USB-C would have been a better option right now in 2020. You also get the mouthpiece opening, a 3.5mm jack port for wired audio connection. Taking a quick look at the front of the smartphone, you get to see a 6.6-inch HD display without any notch or cutout for the camera, and that's because we have a 32 megapixel pop-up camera to the top right corner of the smartphone. The ambient light sensor and the earpiece opening are also tucked at the top here. Now flipping the phone to the back, you get to see also a quad LED setup and a quad camera setup at the rear, which I'll get to in a bit. You also see a biometric fingerprint sensor and the TECNO branding at the bottom of the nice looking rear design. The color I have here is called the Opal White, and you can get the Camon 15 Pro in two color variants as far as I know, either the Ice Jadeite or the Opal White, as you can see here. In terms of the overall design, heft and feel, it feels comfortable to hold, and that's even with a silicone case attached to the smartphone. Without the case, you get this camera bulge at the rear, which gets the Camon 15 rocking on flat surfaces. Even though the case doesn't totally eliminate the bulge, it goes a long way to getting the issue off the way. Now let's get to talk about the display on the Camon 15 Premier. You get a 6.6-inch IPS LCD panel with a resolution that's a little over Full HD, coming in at 1080 by 2340, which is an improvement from the 720 we got from the Camon 12 last year and the 12 Pro. You also get approximately 394 ppi density. Screen to body ratio here is about 84%, and you get this tall form factor, and that's because it's a 19.5 by 9 aspect ratio. With this specs read out to you, it means streaming YouTube content will be capped at 1080p, which is obviously Full HD, and that's a good thing. So in terms of the quality of the display, especially for an LCD panel, there's nothing really to complain about here, and More so, you get the immersive experience while consuming media on this smartphone, all thanks to the front-facing camera being tucked out clean at the top here. One additional feature I got to see this year from iOS, even though I've not really been a huge fan of the skin, is the dark mode you get here. Yeah, you know, there's a dark mode now on TECNO devices coming with iOS 6.0.1, and I think that's a step in the right direction. It did work pretty well in my time of use so far, and I don't see myself switching back to the regular mode. Anyone who would switch back to the regular mode is capable of this. Other features include the smart panel from the corner, which lets you add shortcuts to the frequently used apps. You can also have that turned off from the setting if that's not your thing. There's the micro intelligence setting also, with lots of features ranging from tapping on the display to wake it up, flipping the phone to mute it on a call, and taking the screenshot by swiping 3 fingers on the display of the smartphone. There are a whole lot of features in the micro intelligence section here. If you want to know more about the features from iOS and that's TECNO devices, I have a video linked in the description and somewhere around here. Go check it out too. So in terms of the microphone, you guys asked in my last TECNO video that I made a mic test for the next TECNO device I was going to review on this channel. So here you have it. Testing 1 2. This is a microphone quality and sound check for the Camon 15 Premier. Do let me know if it sounds any good or better than what you have on your smartphone. For the speaker itself, you could notice a little slide in the bass, but it was basically as loud as my Galaxy A71, and I can for sure say that it gets the job done. Do have a listen for yourself.
I need to know everything, who in the what and the where, I need everything. Trust me, I hear what you're saying, but act like it's new what you're telling me. I'm curious, George, I hop in the Porsche, 5 and a horse, I'm ready for war, I'm coming for throats, to turn to a ghost, I need to know everything. Now you be surprised at the info you get is by letting them talk, so I'm letting them talk. Gotta keep quiet, maneuver in silence to let them in.
My only issue with all these phones having a single down-firing speaker, and that's not just TECNO alone. The phones I've reviewed lately, ranging from the Samsung Galaxy A71, the Galaxy A51, Xiaomi devices, and a whole bunch of mid-range devices, is that it could easily be blocked out while using the phone. But then, that's what you get for the price you pay for these devices. Now let's talk about performance and specs on this smartphone. The Camon 15 Premier features a P35 processor, same as seen on the Phantom 9 from last year, and my unit here has 128GB of internal storage, 6GB of RAM, it runs on Android 10, and it basically performs pretty well for day-to-day use. I mean, there wasn't any noticeable lag for media consumption, surfing the web, and basic tasks as used on the smartphone. Playing games like PUBG, Call of Duty, in my use didn't really have those stutters when the graphics were switched to low and medium. Games are playable here, but there's been a noticeable heat up after an extended period of play using the Camon 15 Premier. Battery life here is decent as you get a 4000 mAh battery paired with the Helio P35 processor, obviously a processor that caters for long-lasting battery life on smartphones, and I quickly ran into a pattern here with the TECNO Camon 15 Premier's battery going down from 100 to 15 to 20% after every day's use. To charge up this smartphone, I always do that over the night, and it takes roughly 3 hours to get it to 100% from 0% using the 10-watt charger included in the box. And this is not a fast charger. So when it comes to the camera, which I know most of you have been waiting for, we have huge numbers here. We have a quad camera set up at the rear with a 64 megapixel main sensor, a 5 megapixel ultra wide, which also doubles as the macro lens, a 2 megapixel depth sensor, and a QVGA lens. While in the camera app, you get to see the AI standard mode, the beauty, the bokeh, super night for those night shots, AI, panorama, and the video modes. The regular camera mode at 1x produces photos with resolution summing to 16 megapixels, meaning you actually have 16 megapixel sensor on the smartphone, and the 64 megapixel count is actually pieced together in post, as far as I know. I compared the photos coming off the 60 megapixel mode and the 64 megapixel mode, and aside the difference in photo size and resolution, I think the AI does a great job at giving us crisp images from the 64 megapixel mode. If for anything, the photos are sharp and what you can expect from this level of device, but for the ultra wide lens, it tends to give lower quality images, washed out as compared to the main lens. And for that reason, I would prefer taking 3 steps back for wider shots, to using the ultra wide lens here. And speaking of preferring the main lens, I would also take photos using the main lens and crop in to get the effect that I've gotten with the macro lens on this device. For the front-facing camera, you get a 32 megapixel in that pop-up, and there's this cool animation that happens when you launch the front-facing camera. The camera also has this anti-fall detection protection that retracts this module when the phone is being dropped. As far as the photos go here, they are pretty much okay if you know what you're doing, and they take clear and decent photos with the right lighting. But in low light condition, you do not tend to get the best out of the lens on the 32 megapixel front-facing camera. Video on both the front and the rear cameras are capped at 1080p, which is full HD, and there's no form of stabilization going on here. And you can make videos using any of the two lenses. That's the ultra wide and the main lens, but you cannot make videos switching between the two lenses at the same time. So here are samples.
Hey guys, Oscarmini here, coming to you again with yet another quarantine content. I'm actually on the roadside now, testing out the front-facing camera for the TECNO Camon 15 Premier. And the audio you're hearing right now is coming from the microphone. Tell me how it sounds. I'll probably boost the audio by maybe 5 decibels or so, but that will be it for the audio.
So what are my general thoughts on the TECNO Camon 15 Premier? With the pop-up camera here, the gradient thingy that goes on at the back, this design, the clean and beautiful LCD panel with no notch to obstruct your media consumption, it is a beautifully designed device, especially from the brand, but in terms of camera quality and the processing power, it is passable at best. Although it can handle the basic day-to-day activities that you throw at this thing, and with the processor in here, you have a nice battery consumption. I think this smartphone is something that can be improved upon in subsequent iterations of the Camon series. I'd have the price of the Camon 15 Premier updated in the description box below, because as at time of recording this video, I have no idea of how much it could be sold for, but based on the videos I've seen on the internet, I think somewhere around $200. And that's been it for my review of the TECNO Camon 15 Pro. Do let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, as I really want to hear from you guys. Do not forget to share, like, subscribe to this channel if you haven't done that already, and click on that bell icon to stay notified around here. Other than that is goodbye, and I'ma catch you in the next one. Cuídate.